Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's episode of WizBits Random Gaming. And before we get into today's video, I'd just like to ask you guys to have a look at what we have got now available on the channel. We have membership options which are available from as little as 99 pence a month. Now obviously these are not mandatory, we're just putting this out there to see if anyone would consider supporting the channel moving forward. We'll always keep making the content that you guys have been supporting and enjoying, and any proceeds that come in via the memberships, I can assure you, once YouTube gives me a payout, I'll be using it to put towards giveaways for members. Now, we've also got a Facebook group as well, so pop on over if you like to talk about anything retro related, anything pop culture related, and modern gaming. I like to think it's kind of a safe space for everyone to come along, chat without any sort of judgment. So yeah, please check the two links below in the video description. Without further ado, let's check out today's video. Right, so you would have seen a week or so ago, I was at the very first ever CEX, which is Rathbone Place. Now, I did come away with a couple of games from there, but overall, I couldn't help but show my complete disappointment in what the shop has become compared to what it used to be. Now, with that in mind, just 2 minutes down the road on Tottenham Court Road, we have got Tottenham Court Road CEX. So let's check out what we've got in there. Now straight away we have got a couple of lovely PlayStation anniversary collectors control pads and PlayStation portals. They're a little bit pricey, but I do like them. I can't deny that much. And hidden away in the corner there, I believe that is the recently released Doom Xbox controller. Please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But why would you hide something like that so far back? Now, I don't really keep a tab on anything like this, but have GameCube's gone up in price recently? Because I remember buying my one from this shop, possibly discounted, but it looks fantastic. I don't see what the discount was for, but I got it for around about 40 or 50 pounds. Yep, and that is the way you want to display all of your Sega Saturn games. Now, as I went inside, I couldn't help but notice these control pads here. Now, these ones I didn't really have any interest in, but the one to the left, I don't know, it looks a bit tacky, doesn't it? But it really caught my eye. The Tekken control pad, I really like this, and normally I'm not a massive fan of this kind of skin on a control pad, but this one looks really decent in my opinion. Now, if you ever wanted CEX related baseball caps, now in all the CEXs that I've been to, and I've been to a lot, this one on Tottenham Court Road is the only one that I've seen selling these hats. They've been in stock a long time. Unless there's been a stock refill. I doubt it. Now let's head on over straight to the retro cabinet. And considering its location, this shop has always managed to have a consistently decent amount of retro within its cabinets. A bit surprising because, you know, Tottenham Court Road, Rathbone Place are not really the kind of areas, from what I would say, where people would just get up and say, I'm going to trade my items in. It's more your local stuff, close to people's homes. This is central London, and obviously a lot of office-based workers are in and around this area. So unless they're taking their stuff in their bags to drop off at lunchtime, you know, I don't really see that many people going to these shops in terms of trading the retro stuff, that is. Now, I think that's a big part as to why these two particular branches are very tech based on phones and laptops and stuff like that. It's nice to see they've got a good selection. Now, that Wii U Zumba cover reprint has been in there for at least a couple of years. No one is buying that. I don't care. I will eat my baseball cap if someone picks that one up at £60. But yeah, definitely some interesting items here. Some Dreamcast stuff here, some NES stuff, some unboxed cartridges as well. All in all, not a bad selection at all. However, there is a few games that do find themselves in these cabinets that you do have to question why they're in there. True Crime, for example. I guess they'll say that it's because it's the GameCube version. That's why it's in there, because they don't tend to keep GameCube stuff on the shelves in this particular branch. And you do find that in a lot of CEXs wherever you go. A lot of places keep the GameCube stuff behind the counter or in the cabinets, as you see here today. Now, I'm certain that this is not the case, but for some reason, to my eyes anyway, this Xbox control pad looks like it's been sprayed or painted silver. I'm sure it's not. It doesn't look like a good variant of that control pad. Memory for consoles is so expensive these days, particularly when you're buying them in retail outlets. Now here's a game I really want. It's shot up in price. I definitely missed the boat on this one a few years ago, maybe even a year or so ago. I do want to pick it up. I need it to complete my Cave trilogy of games on the 360. But I don't really want to be paying £75. I live in hope that I find it significantly cheaper somewhere down the line. Now, a pretty pathetic Wii U section here, as you can see. Pretty pathetic Nintendo section here for the Wii U, DS and the Wii itself. Although I did happen to find one game here today that I have got my eye on. Not sure if I'm going to pick it up today because, I don't know, I think I can find it cheaper. And here it is. Now, I first caught wind of this game over at the Retro Ghettos channel. Callum, big up yourself, mate. And I don't see this too often. I know a couple of branches local to me that have got a copy of this. So if I don't pick it up today, I'm confident I can find it anyway if I have buyer's regret. But I do want to try and pick it up for a little bit cheaper than the £32 that it's currently going for. Now, I don't own a 3DS, but I really like the cover of this. This lenticular cover for Steel Diver, and at £4, it's a pretty good buy. For display purposes, at least. I don't really know what the game's about, if it's a good game, but yeah, it looked quite nice. A pretty decent selection of DS stuff. And then we move on to the PlayStation area, where you've got a mixture of PSP games, UMD movies, and then a pretty poor selection of PlayStation 2 stuff. Now, stand by what I say. I just think that these shops in this day and age are in a location where people don't really come from afar or even locally to trade stuff in too often, which is why the stock is affected. And for that reason, they definitely seem to focus more on your mobile phones, your PC kind of stuff, tech-based. And I get it, I understand. It's nice just to have this option local to where I work. I'm not complaining, no way. Because you do find gems from time to time. I know I've added many a good game from this and the other shop down the road, Rathbone Place, when I've been on my lunch hour. The PS3 section, whilst not as small as the PlayStation 2 section, definitely not as much variety. And I'm saying that with the PlayStation 2 section not actually having much variety to it. Now, I'm always really careful in this particular branch when I come here to go through the 360 section with a fine tooth comb. And the reason for that is, I've noticed on quite a few occasions, they seem to just dump in quite expensive, obscure Xbox 360 games in amongst this sort of pile. Not to be the case today so far from what I can see, but I know I've picked up some really good games in the past that I probably would have browsed over otherwise if I hadn't been as alert. And a pretty small OG Xbox section here today. Nothing I really wanted. I do like collecting for the OG Xbox, but there was nothing I wanted to pick up today. Now, you can't really get a great view of this fight stick here at £120. It's a bit ugly for me. There's much better looking fight sticks out there than that particular one. It looks like a good fight stick, don't get me wrong. I'm not an expert on these kind of things. I very much lost track of what fight sticks come out, probably around about 5-6 years ago. But it looks okay, but yeah, I probably could get something a lot better, cheaper, and brand new if I was to look around on the internet. Now, this cabinet always seems to have one or two PlayStation 1 bangers, some really expensive games lying around. And look at this, Blades of Time, £225. When did it go up that much? I know it shot up in price in the last 12 months, but I didn't see it go down to, go up to £225. Got Legacy of Kain there. Crash Team Racing, and Legacy of Kain is one I've been playing recently on the Evercade. A game I didn't grow up playing, and I'm really enjoying it. Now, similar to what I said about the 360 stuff, I've picked up some absolute gems in this shop on the Switch. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out to see if there's anything obscure that you don't see in shops too often today. Spills and secrets there. I'm telling you, how Harry Potter has not come for them, I don't know. They've got away with absolute murder with that franchise. Now, I've already got this one, otherwise I probably would have picked it up today. Infernax. This is a brilliant game. If you're unaware of it, have a look at some videos on YouTube, see if it's for you. I highly recommend Infernax. It's a really, really good modern retro game. Now, the OG Xbox is what I like collecting for, and the 360. I've kind of lost a lot of interest in the current Xbox selection with the Xbox One and the Series X. There doesn't seem to be any kind of game coming out for this system that I'm excited for. It is, in my opinion, a real sad state of affairs to see what's happened to Xbox and the way it is marketed with physical media. Now, I was recently watching a video from Dan the Games Man. Shout out to Dan. He did raise a good point. It is probably the best time to start picking up software for those consoles because of how cheap it is. And I agree with him to an extent. It's just finding software that I want. Now, I'm not familiar with this game. Let me know in the comments if you are. Not sure what that game's all about. It does have the look of an RPG about it. And if you watch the channel on a regular basis, you'll know that that is far from my favourite genre. Now, here's one I used to have on the Switch. I traded it in. Definitely got some buyer's regret. And if I see it on the Switch at any point, I'll be bringing it back into the collection. Love Turrican, and I'm not sure what I was thinking when I got rid of that. Doom Eternal is one I have yet to play. I know it's quite similar to the original sort of rebirth of the Doom franchise, so I know I'll like it. It's just one that I haven't got round to playing. Obviously, time is quite precious when you get to being some sort of adult, and yeah, you've got to pretty much choose what you play, especially when they can be quite lengthy. That's what she said. I'm here all week. Well, they've definitely got you if you want a Resident Evil game on the PlayStation 5 today. Now, this Indiana Jones game, I've had it downloaded on my Series X for some time. I haven't put much into it at all. Need to go back and play that one. So today I only picked up the one game, and it really is a glaring omission from my PlayStation collection, and that is Onimusha 2. I've only ever played 1 and 2 of this, so I don't know what happened to my part 2, but I noticed recently I no longer had it. So I saw it today, it was in nice condition, had the manual, so I thought, today's the day, let's pick this one up because there's nothing really else that I see that I want, apart from that Wii game, but that's for another day. Now with this in mind, I think we're going to now start looking to pick up Onimusha 3. Hopefully we can pick up that cardboard collector's edition version, and also what is Onimusha 4, which I think has a slightly different name. But picking up part 2 has given me a little bit of motivation to go out and look for those games. So today wasn't a total blowout for that reason alone. Not a bad day. Just the one game, so, you know, it's not the greatest game hunt I've ever done. But, you know, it was the location. I just find that in this area, you're quite lucky if you happen to find 1 or 2 games that you want to pick up. Now, it was underwhelming, but I'm really happy to have this and, to a degree, the Rathbone Place shops on my doorstep. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Please, if you like the content, take the time to consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care for now.